Hey, happy and grateful people. I want to talk about being your true self, or being true to yourself is probably a better way to put it. There's a lot of external stuff happening, and there's a lot of external forces, and opinions and perspectives, and all kinds of people who might try to tell you that you're doing it wrong, or tell you that you need to be this way or that way, and tell you that their way is better, right? Or why not join what I'm doing and be how I'm being? And I feel like this is an important lesson coming up for me, because um, it's there to show me that uh, I I'm here for a reason. I know what I'm doing, and there's only one of me. There's only one of me. There's only one of each of you, and nobody, not a single person out there, can basically tell you like how you're supposed to be, based on their own perspective, because they know themselves and their past and their experiences, and maybe not, maybe they don't even know that, but um, it's not possible for someone else to be like, you need to be going this way, because it's based on their perspective. Like they couldn't possibly, even if they have like Christ conscious abilities and can look through your eyes, right? Because that's a whole nother story. Like people who can kind of travel from being to being and look through others' eyes still doesn't mean that they know what's best for you. It still doesn't mean that anyone else knows how you should be living your life. Um, and this is why it's so important to be authentic and just be true to yourself. Like, find out who you are, find out what you're doing on this planet, because we're not just here to work and pay bills and then die. That's silly. You're all divine beings. You're a divine being. You have a divine reason for being here. And that's another thing I should point out, is you're human beings, not human doings. And so when all these other people come and tell you, or if you have like outside distractions, or things that try to take you off your path, or tell you that you need to be doing something else, just remind yourself that you're a human being, and you're here to emanate who you are and expand and grow and evolve as you. You're on your own spiritual journey as well. Like, how do you know at what level another person's spirit has evolved to? What if you're taking advice from a kindergarten spirit and you're a senior in high school, and all you got to recognize is, whoa, I need to be true to myself. I know that I'm at this level of awareness, and this is where I'm going for me, based on my function, my purpose on the planet, and what I know to be true for me, my my divine individual self. Nobody can be you. You're unique, and therefore, um, mind your own vibration. Basically, like, one, don't allow others to tell you that you're broken and that you need to be doing something different. And two, don't go around telling others that they're broken and that they need to be doing something different. So I hope this hits home and creates a breakthrough for somebody, because there's just so many expectations sometimes of what others want, and I have chosen to emotionally cut off and detach myself from like how others might see me or view me, because how why does it matter? They don't know me. They don't know me. They couldn't possibly, even if they know aspects of me, what they're suggesting, and what other people demand of you, or expect of you, is based on their own self. So basically everything's a projection, if you want to narrow it down to that. There's, like, even when I'm giving advice to certain people, whether they ask for it or not, I try to give only solicited advice. um, it's still a projection. Yeah, it might be good for them. It might be great advice for them to take, and it's up to them. Like, whatever fits you and your now reality, great. But it's important for me to tune in and listen to what I'm projecting, because this is from my true self. This is from my inner knowing. So I hope that helps. Anyways, I love all of you, and wherever you are in this in this dimension, wherever you are in your life, in your soul's journey, like I love you, and I admire and respect like where you're at. And I'm not ever here to tell you how to be and what to do. I'm sharing my insights, my breakthroughs. I can only ever share from my perspective. So I'm sharing from my views as a human being, and as applicable as much of the advice and wisdom that I share is, it's still for me to listen to and tune into. Um, it's still a projection, because that's what we're doing here. We're projecting. We're like these most amazing uh, machines. Like, we were made in God's image, right? However you want to dice that up, religiously or not. So accept it, embrace it, and be your authentic self. You can't be anybody else, and therefore nobody else can be you. They can't tell you how to be, because they are them. They are them. And it's just something that's been coming up for me, because there are people that I have held on pedestals in the past, or maybe even been jealous of in some ways. And I don't like the emotion jealousy. I think it's ugly. I'm learning to just, feel my emotions and live through them rather than to judge them. Still don't really love the feeling of jealousy. I recognize that. And it's just been coming up for me. I used to hold certain people on pedestals, and it's changed. Now I just totally admire, or not even, I respect where they're at. I respect that they are all doing their thing. I cannot put anybody on a pedestal. You don't belong on a pedestal for several reasons. One, if I put you on a pedestal, then that means you're in a position to be torn down. And I bring brothers up. I bring sisters up. I bring people up. I'm not here to tear you down. So you don't get to be on a pedestal, and it's for the good of everybody. And this is why it's just good to love yourself, guys. Get familiar with yourself. If it takes shooting videos, if it takes staring in the mirror, learn to love yourself. If I can give any unsolicited advice to anybody that would serve you the most, it is love yourself. You have to live with yourself. You have to live with yourself. You have to live with yourself. It doesn't matter who else is around. Love yourself. You can't rely on other people to always validate what you're doing, where you're going, how you're being. You got to own that it's all you inside. Whether we're working as one unit, everybody's connected. That's a given. Somebody can't say, "Oh, I'm going this way and you're going that way, and therefore we're not connected." You're still connected, but they're living their true, path to themselves, and you're living yours. This has been a big breakthrough for me, because I would get really torn up. I'd get all emotional and sad about like, oh, such and such friend doesn't see me the way that I want to be seen. And then it would hurt my feelings. And I've realized, like, holy shit, why do I don't care how they see me. It's more important, because everything applies to self. Everything does. This is like proven science when you look into the subconscious mind and how much it operates. It recognizes self. It applies everything to self. So it's important to just like stay true to that, and not allow, like, I'm not hurt about it if somebody doesn't see me a certain way, because I realize it's more important that I see myself the way that I want to see myself. Like, love myself, basically. So even though this is a projection for myself and a reminder for myself to live true to what I'm doing here in cooperation with everybody, it's also a projection for everybody else. So it's important to love yourself. Do some mirror work. If you don't know what that is, just go stare in the mirror and think about light. Don't think about a bunch of other things. I'll do a full video about that, I'm sure. But this was just a little rant about some of the breakthroughs I've had. I love all of the people in my path. I love all the people, no matter how they see me. And in fact, many times those have been the blessings that have allowed me to learn the lessons that are taking me forward in fast evolution is, oh, recognizing that they see things different and I get to see things the way that I see things and own it. Like freaking own it. I don't need to I don't need to conform to someone else's perspective. I mean, that would be silly. It just would. It's like all of the mind your own business, mind your own vibrations concept. You can't really mind others. You can't. You can't make their thoughts happen a certain way. If somebody has a perspective of you, good luck changing it. Because the more you try to change their perspective of you, the more you're subscribing to their perspective of you and making that the reality. It's best to detach from other people's perspectives of us so that we can be allowed to live our true and authentic self. So I hope this helps you. And again, like I've told you before, I love you. Please like and subscribe and share. Anybody that you feel that inclined to or inspired to, and project more of what you deserve to hear and learn from, and be your true self.